Hi, so we have this week's daily geography, which is called Waterways of the United States. So first I'm going to do over the reading with you, and then we'll go over the map and then the questions. Waterways of the United States. Share with students that physical maps show the natural landforms and waterways of a place. Show students the physical map of the United States. Students will notice that the physical map shows the major waterways of the United States. Have students name the different kinds of waterways shown on the map. Remind students to also look at the inset maps of Alaska and Hawaii. They should mention oceans, lakes, rivers, gulfs, a sound, and a strait. Share with students the definitions of a gulf, a sound, and a strait. We will go over that in the vocabulary. The major rivers and famous lakes have been included on this map. Have students follow the Mississippi River from its source in Lake Itasca in Minnesota to the mouth, which is the Mississippi Delta, all the way to Louisiana. Students will see that the river flows into the Gulf of Mexico. Also, discuss the labeled tributaries of the Mississippi River. Explain that all the lakes on the map are freshwater lakes except for the Great Salt Lake and the Salton Sea. The Great Salt Lake, here in Utah, is a saltwater lake in Utah. The Salton Sea in California is a shallow saltwater lake. Have students name the 5 Great Lakes, which are the world's largest group of freshwater lakes. You may also choose to extend this week's lesson to include additional rivers and lakes that are important to your region or country. Don't worry about the last sentence. Okay, our vocabulary. Great Lakes. 5 freshwater lakes. The Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. Gulf. A large area of ocean that is partly surrounded by land. Lake. A large body of fresh water surrounded by land. Mouth, the part of the river where it empties into another body of water. Physical features, natural landforms and waterways on Earth's surface. Physical map, a map that shows natural landforms and water on Earth's surface. A sound, a long, wide body of water, larger than a strait or channel. Source, the place where a river starts. Strait, a narrow strip of water that connects 2 larger bodies of water. Tributary, a river that flows into a larger river. Okay, so now let's look over the map. So we see a few things here. We see the whole United States and all the states. We see up here is Canada. Down here is Mexico. Here we have Alaska, which has the Yukon River, and here's the Arctic Ocean. We have Hawaii, which is in the Pacific Ocean. And then we have the compass, north, east, south, west. So all we need to know that the only symbols that we have are these kind of lines which indicate a river. So here's a dash connecting to this area right here, which is the Puget Sound waterway. Here we have the Columbia River, Lake Tahoe, the Salton Sea in Southern California. Here is another river. Here's a Lake Mead, which connects to Lake Powell, and the Colorado River connects all of these 2 lakes together. Then we have this really large river that kind of goes this way, which is labeled as the Rio Grande. All the way up here is the Missouri River. So if we follow this whole line all the way down, it goes into this area, and then it kind of keeps going down south and then connects into the Mississippi River. So then the Mississippi River from here looks like it goes out into the Gulf of Mexico, which is a water. Here we have the Lake of the Ozarks, Arkansas's river from here all the way down, which then connects to the Mississippi River. We have Lake of the Woods up here in Canada and part of the US. Here we have Lake Itasca, which that lake looks like it connects to the Mississippi River as it flows down south. Here we have the Great Lakes, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. Here we have the Ohio River. Over here we have the St. Lawrence River. Here we have the Gulf of Maine. Here we have the Atlantic Ocean, all this over here. And then we have Lake of Okeechobee and the Straits of Florida right down here. Okay, so now using all that information that you just read about, we're going to answer questions for Monday and Tuesday. Monday, number 1. Which oceans border the United States? So we know all of this is the United States. So which oceans do you see connect or touch the United States? Write those down. There are 3 of them that you need to write down for that, okay? Because don't forget, the United States also includes Alaska. So ocean, and then there's 2 more. Write those down for Monday, number 1. Monday, number 2. How many rivers are labeled on the map? If you're having a hard time counting them, don't count the ones that are labeled multiple times. Like, for example, here is Mississippi River and Mississippi River right here. So you can't count those 2 times. So count each labeled one. So maybe circle them. Try thinking about circling each river that you find. But if, for example, Mississippi River, you can't circle this one and this one. You're only going to circle one of those. Then put however many you counted under Monday number 1. Monday number 2, sorry. Tuesday number 1. How many labeled rivers flow into the Mississippi River? Name these tributaries. So you have 2 parts to this question. So how many rivers connect to Mississippi River? So all of this right here, any other river that connects to the Mississippi River, touches it in some way, you need to count them. And then write down the name of those rivers for Tuesday number 1. Tuesday number 2. Which lake is the source of the Mississippi River? So where does it start? Find the Mississippi River and look farthest north to the end of the Mississippi River, which connects to a lake. Write down the name of that lake for Tuesday number 2. And then that's all of our daily geography for this week. You're going to keep this daily geography and we will finish it up next week, next Tuesday when you come back to school. Good job.